Hello, this video is to show you how to avoid making duplicate profiles in ACMS. So the key to not creating a duplicate profile in ACMS is to make sure you do a thorough claimant search before creating a profile. Now, why is it so important that a claimant only has one profile in ACMS? Well, with one profile and having all of their appeals on one profile, you can kind of see the history of that claimant. And it makes it easy for state hearings and for you also to see once a claimant files an appeal, you can check and see if they've had past appeals, especially for the same program that they're appealing. And that may be a clue that newly filed appeal could be a duplicate of something they've already filed, or maybe it's really a rehearing request for an appeal they've already had. So it's important to have all of that into one spot so that we can easily check that. If you have a person that has multiple profiles and they have some appeals here and some appeals over there, it becomes a little more difficult to gauge what the history is for that particular claimant. So we do have a way to search for those duplicate appeals, and we do occasionally run into them. For example, if a claimant files an appeal by phone, and that appeal will appear in ACMS, they may already have a profile or not, and then maybe they'll go online and they'll file, but they don't have an ACMS account. So now that automatically creates a new profile for that person. So state hearings does check and make sure that we merge those together if they happen to file in a different way. All right, so let's get started on this. Let's say, for example, you have a claimant named Erica Gonzalez. So sometimes, especially if you're talking on the phone with a claimant, you don't have really a written appeal request. It's hard to tell. So maybe you're going to search on Erica Gonzalez. Yeah, that's the normal spelling for Erica Gonzalez, and you do a search. And maybe Erica has said, "Hey, I filed an appeal with you a year ago on a different matter." So you know she should be in the system, but you search and you don't see her in there. Well, then maybe she spells it a little bit different. Maybe it's Erica with a K and Gonzalez with an S. Let's try that. So you do a search and still nothing. One of the things that I like to do is just, you're not sure if it's a K or a C, maybe E-R-I, and then maybe G-O-N. And then you're going to get everything that starts with E-R-I and G-O-N. So here, oh, look, I have a bunch of Erica Gonzalez's. So here's Erica with a K and a Gonzalez with two Z's. And here's Erica with the C and Gonzalez with the S at the end. And wow, these two people, oh yeah, these are, this Erica probably has two different profiles. Look at this. She appears twice. It's probably the same person. Probably because the birth date matches and the county of residence matches. The telephone numbers and the emails don't match, but I would look into this, and SHD would probably try to resolve if these are the same people or different people. But let's just say that this is the person you're looking for. So now you can open that up, and it's going to pull out the profile. And you can ask them, or maybe you know what their birth date is, and confirm that this is the same person. And confirm they're from Los Angeles County, this is their address, this is their phone number. And you can update that if they have changed. Maybe this Erica says, "Oh, no, I don't live at this address anymore. You can go ahead and update that address, and then when you're done, you can hit save down at the bottom. So that's one way of doing a search so that you avoid making a duplicate profile. Another thing that happens with profiles is email addresses. So let me go back to Erica's. So once there's an email address, let's say this one, email address in ACMS associated with a person, if you try to make a new profile with that same email address, oops, it's very touchy about its formatting. I'm just going to pick some random stuff here. Email, county of residence, Imperial. Okay, and the email address was eg@robot.com. All right, let's pick a phone number, just a pretend phone number. And now we're going to hit save. Now that email address is already being used, and you're going to get this error. And that's another clue that maybe this person's profile already exists in ACMS. So give these tips and tricks a try next time you're doing a search for a claimant, and hopefully we can all avoid making those duplicate profiles that are just not good for us. Thank you very much, and if you do have any questions about profiles and how to do searches to find a particular claimant, you can send your request to ACMS at dss.ca.gov, and we'll be very happy to help you find the claimant you need.